Welcome to episode 5 of Proud to be a Baby Boomer, brought to you by Lee WTV. I'm your host, Edd Schultz. In today's episode, we're going to examine 10 of my favorite movies from the 1950s and 1960s. It's hard to think about movies from the 50s and 60s, especially those who are centered around children, without looking at Disney movies. Disney was one of the most prolific manufacturers of film products for young people. We're going to begin with one of my personal favorites. In 1959, Disney Studios did its first live-action comedy, and it was called The Shaggy Dog.
What's the big idea?
Get down!
Now, don't give me trouble, Mooch.
You got trouble. Look at yourself.
Oh, no, no, not here, not now, please.
Welby, are you all right? Oh, boy, you're a dog again.
What are you so happy about?
Gosh, Welby, you know you're a lot more fun as a dog than you are as my brother.
Ah, shut up and get me out of here.
Surprisingly, The Shaggy Dog was the second highest grossing film in 1959, second only to Ben-Hur with Charlton Heston. The Shaggy Dog marked the film debut of Mouseketeer Annette Funicello. The Shaggy Dog starred actor Tommy Kirk, who went on to play roles, feature roles, as well as lead roles in numerous other Disney productions, including the Mickey Mouse Club serial The Hardy Boys, where he co-starred with his Shaggy Dog co-star Tim Considine. He also played opposite another Shaggy Dog co-star, Kevin Corcoran, in Old Yeller, which was the film debut for both of these young actors. Old Yeller was produced in 1957.
It's Walt Disney's Old Yeller. This is the original and most acclaimed animal classic ever.
You crazy, wonderful dog.
A story about the undying love between a boy and his dog.
He's my dog. Ain't nobody gonna try to hurt him.
It's the one irresistible movie everyone remembers.
Come on, Yeller.
Now it's back, and Old Yeller never looked so good.
Get him, Yeller.
Don't miss this truly great motion picture.
One of the scenes in Old Yeller is sometimes considered Hollywood's saddest scene.
No, Mama.
There's no hope for him now, Travis. He's suffering. You know we've got to do it.
I know, Mama. He was my dog. I'll do it.
Another popular 1957 Disney live-action movie was the story of Johnny Tremain and the American Revolution.
It's a tall old tree and a strong old tree, and we are the sons, yes, we are the sons of liberty, the sons of liberty.
In 1961, Disney had another one of my favorites, The Parent Trap, starring Haley Mills in the role of twin sisters.
It began with an incredible resemblance, a remarkable coincidence,
It's my mother. It's my mother, too.
an extraordinary discovery.
Golly. Sisters.
And now, Susan and Sharon, two twins separated since they were babies, have an ingenious plan to get their parents back together.
And like many preteen boys at that time, I had a tremendous crush on Haley Mills. In 1960, Kevin Corcoran made again another appearance in Toby Tyler, or 10 Weeks with a Circus.
Ice cold lemonade here. It's pink, it's cold, it's refreshing. Yeah? That little boy, isn't he wonderful? He's our boy.
This movie made me want to run away with the circus too, but not to become an equestrian, rather to become a magician. I was inspired by Mark Wilson and Nani Darnell in the Magic Land of Alakazam TV show on Saturday mornings.
The Magic Land of Alakazam was the first and the only magic series ever aired on network television in the United States. The show debuted in 1960 and was seen every Saturday morning for 2 years on the CBS network and then for 3 more years on the ABC network.
Later on in life, I did become a semi-professional magician with a huge magic and illusion show, Magic by Zauber and Company. But I digress. Back to the movies. When I was in elementary school, I had a wonderful teacher who read us stories about a nanny who would slide up the banister instead of down.
Mary Poppins, dipping time! Mary Poppins! Lucky Albert!
Back in 1955, Disney Studios produced one of my favorite cartoon animated features, Lady and the Tramp.
Now, tell me, what's your pleasure? A la carte? Dinner? Uh-huh. Okay. Hey, Joe. Butcher, he says he wants 2 spaghetti a speciale, heavy on a meatball.
Tony, dogs don't talk.
He's a talking to me.
Okay, he's a talking to you. You the boss. Mamma mia, mangiare io che avere siti.
Now, here you are, the best spaghetti in a town.
Oh, this is the night. It's a beautiful night. and we call it Bella Notte.
Walt Disney actually wanted this scene taken out of the movie, but it's become one of the most popular animated series scenes in cinema history. And in 1953, there was my favorite animated movie of all time, the story of the boy who never grew up.
Peter Pan!
Where pixie dust began and the adventure took flight.
How do we
And
get to
then
Neverland?
there was exciting science fiction.
I'll get you for this, Pan.
The timeless story of a boy who never grows up and a magical journey to a land where dreams come true.
Oh, Peter, you saved my life!
In 1953, Walt Disney brought Peter Pan to the big screen, but in 1954, Mary Martin brought Peter Pan to Broadway.
I won't grow up, I won't grow up. I don't want to go to school, I don't want to go to school. Just to learn to be a parrot, just to learn to be a parrot. And recite a silly rule, and recite a silly rule.
And then there was exciting science fiction.
It's unthinkable, but it must be true. A man took some tools and went where no human being had ever set foot. Alone. Went into the interior of the earth.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is James Mason. Come along with Pat Boone and me, Arlene Dole, Diane Baker, and Gertrude the Duck, and discover sights and sounds and wonders no living man has ever witnessed before, filmed in the incomparable magic of CinemaScope. We'll take our leave of civilization on the bleak, barren wastes of Iceland, peer in awe at the bottomless crater of an uncharted volcano, make the perilous descent into the unknown. You'll pioneer with us through countless miles of trackless labyrinths, discover huge subterranean caverns never beheld by human eye, become lost in the weird underground maze. You'll find yourself engulfed in grotesque, petrified jungles, marvel at the fantastically beautiful quartz grotto, tumble into cascading salt beds, escape from hissing steam caves, behold the staggering underground ocean. You'll encounter breathtaking dangers beyond belief, here at the center of the earth.
Stop. Fair warning. You'll never find your companions or your way out. You need me as much as I need you. Stop and come back.
Some of the interior scenes for this film were actually shot in Carlsbad Caverns in New Mexico. And of course, this list wouldn't be complete without my favorite science fiction story of all time, the 1960 George Pal version of H.G. Wells' The Time Machine.
Such stories as H.G. Wells' War of the Worlds and Jules Verne's 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea have challenged mankind. So today, man is successfully probing deep into the mysteries of the universe. Can he penetrate the greatest mystery of all, time itself? It took the creative magic of George Pal and the fabulous production know-how of Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer to catapult you through time into a world that is yet to be.
Why is it that we usually ignore the fourth dimension? You see, we can move in the other three. As the doctor said, up, down, forwards, backwards, sideways. But when it comes to time, we are prisoners.
Inventor Rod Taylor's breakthrough into the realm of the fourth dimension is defied by his friend Alan Young.
If that machine can do what you say it can, destroy it, George, before it destroys you.
Every moment is a year, hurtling through the atomic wars of the future on an incredible excursion into the unknown.
After seeing this movie, I wanted to build a time machine in my basement, but I never quite made it. Then there were sci-fi movies and horror movies that scared us skinny.
You hear the beat of fear within you? Fear that will rise to a shattering crescendo of terror. You have strayed into a world of evil, where frightened people are held in the grip of unearthly horror. Beware of pity for the handsome prisoner in the Castle Meister. Beware of love, for in your heart is only the pulsating throb of terror.
Starring Peter Cushing as the Doctor locked in mortal combat with overwhelming evil.
Lots of nightmares after this one. Well, those are some of my favorites. There were sci-fi movies and horror movies that scared us skinny. Honorable mentions, some brief clips from a number of other famous movies from the 50s and 60s. Maybe one of your favorites or more are among that list. Please let us know in the comments below if one of those were some of your favorites or if we missed your favorites. Now let's take a look.
What the hell is going on here?
Of Boris Pasternak's Dr. Zhivago.
Talk with you again.
The greatest story ever told is a magnificent picture.
Pictures presents an Alan J. Pakula production, The Sterile Cuckoo, starring Liza Minnelli, Wendell Burton, and Tim McIntyre.
Behold his mighty hand!
Paramount Pictures proudly presents Cecil B. DeMille's The Ten Commandments.
I never fail, Mr. Bond.
is Tokyo, once a city of 6 million people. What has happened here was caused by a force which, up until a few days ago, was entirely beyond the scope of man's imagination.
Well, thank you much for joining us for this episode of Proud to be a Baby Boomer, Boomer Movies. We hope that if you like what you saw, first of all, you'll like, share, and comment below. You can also comment on Facebook, and please share it with all your friends, especially those who are of a certain age. In our next episodes, we'll take you through food, TV commercials, whatever we can think of. And if you have suggestions of different parts of the baby boomer life that you'd like us to explore, please let us know, either through the comments below or on Facebook, Twitter, wherever you may happen to see us. And be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any future episodes of Proud to be a Baby Boomer. Thanks again. Bye for now.